T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good evening again, everybody. Welcome to Global Watchmen News. My name is Laurie Swan. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you are in the live chat, we ask that you keep it family friendly. There will be moderators in the room to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forth to us by the platforms that we're utilizing tonight, which is YouTube and Twitch. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. Want to apologize if you were joining us before. I lost internet. We are having very bad storms here tonight. So we are praying the hedge of protection around us at this moment that we can continue this broadcast without interruption, because this information we feel is needed to get out there in a timely fashion. So I told you guys before, I have the best research team around. We had some information brought into our group. I think it started with McAfee, and then I remembered a video that I had seen back in 2014. The video was made in 2013, but I saw it in 2014. And Trisha actually found the video for me. She knew exactly what I was talking about and brought it up. And so these guys have been cracking this code for the last week or two, and maybe longer. And I want to join tonight, being joined tonight by Trisha Marie. Hey, Trish.
Hey.
Hey.
We're going to try this again.
Take two.
Okay. Hey, but we're warmed up. We're ready to go.
That's right. We are warmed up, ready to go. Okay. So let's do a little bit of background and tell everybody how we ended up coming to the conclusions that we're coming to tonight.
Okay. So we have decoded this video in the past, and we got probably 3/4, maybe more of the way through it with the decodes. And Laurie will play it in a little bit, and we'll show you what we came up with. And there were a few things we were stuck on. And one of the things we were stuck on was the numeric value in the title right before the Be Ready video. And then we were also stuck on a thing at the end. Yeah, that's the number. But the reason why I revisited this, because it had bugged me for a long time. And about a month ago, I was trying to break the code, like, okay, what does this number mean? It has to mean something. And the only thing I could come up with was that it's an MK Ultra Monarch activation code. And that's is referenced in Fritz Springmeier's book. What is that book called, Laurie? The Monarch something slave or something?
Yeah, the
Monarch slave.
Yeah, I believe it's Monarch slave. I think it's
So that number refers to an activation code for MK Ultra. It's a trigger, and that activation code is also called the Pool of Death. Okay, but we'll get into how that code breaks down into an actual date in a bit. But the reason why I was revisiting is because I had shelved it. It bugged me. I prayed on it about a month ago, and nada. And then I was watching a video, I'd say not even a week ago, that David Zubrick had a guest on with a pastor, where he was able to, based on current events and overlapping Bible events, he came up with the date of September 11th, that there would be an event in New York, and he thinks it's a nuke. And if you watch his video, he does a really good job of why and bringing it all together.
And I will give you guys, actually, you know what, tomorrow afternoon, I think, or tomorrow night, I'm going to actually get David's permission to replay that video for us.
Yeah, it's well worth a watch.
It's quite long. I think it's 3 hours long. Dave and I are friends, so I'm sure he'll let me do it, and replay it. I probably won't be able to do it on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll have to do it over on Twitch, but I will let you guys know about that.
It's worth the watch because it's from a biblical perspective.
Right.
So after I watched that, something told me to rewatch this video, the Be Ready video, the one that 2311344421 Be Ready. So as I was watching it the other day, all these things started like coming to me. My eyes were open. So I don't know if you want to play it or.
Yeah, well, we'll do what we did last time. We're going to play it once, and then I'm going to bring it up on the other screen, and we're going to actually walk you through it. But we'll play it for you right now. Okay. So let me pull up the video itself. Now, what is odd about it is you can see this was it was downloaded here on YouTube October 29th, 2013. I did not become aware of it until 2014, but you can see that this is the actual title of this video. So let's do this. Let me pull it up like this. I'm going to mute it out for us, and we're going to make it big here, and we're going to actually decipher it. Well, we're going to kind of bring your attention to a few things that we want you to see. Well, first off, Trisha said that this guy here looks like somebody who would be a member of the Illuminati, very well dressed in the black and white. We know the black and white is a sign of the Freemasons, the Illuminati. We have the black and white checkerboard for their symbolism. He's wearing the gloves. And Trish, jump in anytime here. So
he reminds me of Jared Kushner, kind of, his body.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
His haircut.
Does. Yeah, he really does. Okay, so here we have the first one. This is designated locations. Now, back when this came out, we tried looking at it and seeing where the lights were that lit up on the map. Didn't really give us too much of a clue, but that was back in, like I said, 2014 when we started deciphering this. But it said designated locations. And then it's going to go into, hold on a minute. So he pulls up, why is it blurry? Is it blurry for you?
Yeah, it's blurry.
Let's try it again.
They got to mess with us one way or another.
One way or another, they're going to mess with us.
Hey, that's better.
Okay, here we go. Yes, that's better. Okay, I hope. Okay, so yeah, this is better. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, on that Jared Kushner comment, that pastor, the video we were just talking about on David Zubrick's show, he thinks the Antichrist is Jared Kushner, and he goes into that.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, see that by his left ear? Is that New York City?
Okay, I don't know what that. All right, let's start at the one at the left. The one at the left, I know, is Tiananmen Square. The one at the bottom by his shoulder, that is the Pentagon. The one up by his ear, it looks like New York City, and if you can see right down by his cheek at the bottom of his ear is a wave.
Mm-hmm.
That's water.
Yeah. Over
to the right, his right ear at the top is the Twin Towers. At the bottom is Oklahoma City. Over here we have the Kennedy assassination. Then we have, it looks like, what came to mind on this one was the Valentine Day Massacre. And then we have the
Gulf oil spill.
The Gulf oil, which is interesting because that wasn't until after 2014, I don't think. I'm trying to remember that. But he goes on. Okay. Oops. I'm going to pull it back just a teeny tiny bit here. Okay. So here we have up at the top left. We're going to start at the top left. This we have, it looks like the Revolutionary War. Now we know that the Illuminati, they funded both sides of the wars. Every war they've funded since the French Revolution. Mm-hmm. And so here we have the American Revolution. We've got the, down at the very bottom, it looks like that was Tiananmen Square. In the middle, we have Lincoln's assassination. Above that, we have the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Down at the very bottom, we have the signing of the Patriot Act. In the middle, we have the Vietnam War. At the top, we have the moon landing. Let's continue a little bit here. Okay. Again, we have the Vietnam War. Over here, I believe that's World War II. Something I think that's probably Hitler's. I think that's the SS there. Again, we have in the middle another, looks like back in the 20s and 30s, the gangsters. Here we have, I think that was the Aurora shooting. And then we continue to go on. I'm not sure what that is. It might be 9/11. I'm not sure. Trans World, not sure what that is. Then we have, again, looks like the 1920s, 1930s. Down at the bottom, we have the Kennedy assassination. Up at the top, we have the Pentagon, we have Oklahoma City bombing, and then we have 9/11. And 9/11 is the last one that we see. The last image that we see is 9/11. Keep that in mind. Now, May 1st. May 1st is the date of the Bavarian Illuminati was created by Adam Weishaupt. That is a very significant date for the elite. Okay, it's back. It was funded. Weishaupt was a Jesuit trained. He was a priest, and he got the money from. It would be the Rothschilds. They weren't the Rothschilds back then, but that would have been the Rothschilds. Then the next image we see is September 11th. And the next image we see is April 19th. April 19th is the date of the Oklahoma City bombing. And they show it twice. Trish, what is your theory on the twice?
I think they're trying to tell us that they can replay a date. If it's important enough, it's an important date, they'll reuse that date. That's what came to my mind.
Right. Runaway. Now, you had mentioned about it being backwards.
Yes. Because the occults tend to do a lot of backward. I'm sure you've heard, they put backward messages in their songs. And
right.
Yeah. So they, that's right. Just something they do.
Backmasking.
Yeah.
And then we've got right here, Sector New York water. And then he ends it with these images. All right, I'm going to pull those images up so we can see them a little bit closer. And you guys decoded this, well, the best you could.
We think we decoded it.
I think you did.
So I think it comes out to time, and then you got the yin and yang. And now the occult, they deal with duality. So they always have a hidden meaning. They have the meaning they tell the world, like with the hand sign, and like the I love you, or the rock and roll sign, but it actually means something else. Well, I think that's what they're doing with this yin and yang symbol. So I'm reading this as time for the duality. And the duality is who? The Masons, right? With the black and white checkerboard floor. So, or Satanists, or whatever you want to call them. Time for them to flood the world with power. Be ready. That's what I think that means.
Okay. All right. And we're going to get into that a little bit more as we go on. All right. So now this was back in, like I said, the video came out in 2013. And when it came out, guys, there was no explanation. It was just kind of appeared one day, and you can hear it. There's no sound. We thought maybe it was for a power company commercial, but why all the cryptic images? And we just kind of let it go by the wayside until, about 2 or 3 months ago, when I started talking about it and bringing it up, going, guys, we've got to find this video. And Trisha, I don't know how she found it, because I said it's just numbers. I didn't know what the numbers were, but I just knew that the title was numbers. So that was in 2013. 2014, Obama went to The Hague, and he went there for the nuclear summit. I'm going to pull this up for you. 2014. And this was their seating arrangement at The Hague. And what they did was they ran a simulation as far as a nuclear event here on Earth. Now, here's the thing about nukes and about nuclear war is there's a thing called mutually assured destruction. And what that is it basically assures that no country is going to, no superpower is going to use nukes against another country or another superpower, because our policy is this. Once we see Russia launch their nukes, we launch all of ours. That's it. We won't be caught with any on the ground. And so they know that they have to launch all theirs for the initial attack. And it kind of goes into the whole, we kill you, you kill us, nobody wins, we all die. Okay. So they have this thing like I said, it's called mutually assured destruction. But they ran a simulation, and you can see the seating arrangement is a circle, which is the occult. They do all of their rituals in the circles. Luciferians, Satanists, Wiccans, whatever you want to, whatever the occult would be, that's what they do. They have this circular. In the middle of this, through the whole conference, was this image. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it was a hologram and it spun around. And this is what it was right here. Okay. So when Obama came back from there, he told, oh, here comes another storm. Oh God. Okay. When he came back from the summit, he went on camera and he said that he was not worried about the Russians. It wasn't the Russians that he was worried about. It wasn't the Chinese that he was worried about. He was worried about a small country like Iran. And my mind goes now to Afghanistan. But he said that he was more worried about a Manhattan nuke. President Obama invoked a bracing image responding to a question about the threat Russia poses to America while speaking at a nuclear security summit in Brussels on Tuesday. Russia's actions don't pose, and this is important, Russia's actions don't pose the number one national security threat to the United States, Obama said at The Hague in Netherlands. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan. He said this on March 26, 2014. Now, Trish, the video that you watched with the pastor, what did he have to say about this?
Well, he pretty much, you really have to watch the video because he does a wonderful job, but he pretty much summarizes that New York City is modern day Babylon. And what do they call it? They call it the Big Apple. And what does the apple represent? I think it represents sin.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's not his theory. That's my theory about the Big Apple. But he does a wonderful job. I strongly suggest people watch it and to why it's modern day Babylon. Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because I showed you an image that I pulled up yesterday for the last night's show. And here's an actual picture or depiction of Babylon. And you can see that that's the Tower of Babel. It is the tallest building in Babylon. And what's this, guys? That is Freedom Tower. That is where the Twin Towers stood.
That's the One World Trade Center. And it looks like a you-know-what that goes in your arm. And it also kind of looks like a DNA thing at the bottom, kind of.
And it's got the two triangles, one up inverted and one upright, connecting one another. And that's the duality. There you have the as above, so below.
Yep.
Okay. So we don't follow Q. You guys know this, but as with all things, we keep an eye on these things. One of the things that stuck out in our minds about Q was Q kept warning us to watch the water, and that was one thing that I've been watching lately is the water.
McAfee as well.
And McAfee as well. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with McAfee. Now, because he's played a part in your deciphering of this code, right?
His stuff's really hard to decipher. I mean, it really is. And
he's almost like a mad scientist. It's like you don't know where his mind is. Guys, before we continue, we don't believe McAfee is dead. All right, we're going to put it out there. It's something that I've said all along. I've never believed McAfee died. I believe it was a body double. I showed you guys the video of him actually saying that he has had up to 5 body doubles. So I do believe that it was a body double that was suicided in that prison. He wouldn't have killed himself. He would not have. And so he has a Telegraph room, chat room, where he's dropping all kinds of codes, right?
Yeah, he's always dropping. And he used to have I think it was him. He used to have a YouTube channel called Rusty, who.
Rusty Shackelford.
Yeah, and there was always stuff on there that kind of was like,
Now that the original Rusty channel from back in 2018 when it started, that was him. Well, yeah, I can say 99.9% it was him. Was running the what do I want to call the drone footage?
Yeah.
Drone footage over Epstein's Island. And we knew for a fact that McAfee and his wife were in the Caribbean at that time, in the Virgin Islands area at that time. And then when he had to flee there and he went to Europe, the videos miraculously stopped until about a week after his death, and they started back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Now that channel has been taken down. There was another channel that was put up and then was been taken down as well. So we don't have those channels anymore. Okay, so let's get into the deciphering of this.
Okay. So after I rewatched that video, the Be Ready video, I felt like God was telling me that's a date. And I was like, how's that a date? 2-1 I know is the year. So then I just started going backwards because I know that they do things backwards. So I did 4 plus 4, that's 8. And then 3, that's 11. And then 1, 1, 3, and 2, that equals 7. So I had 7, 11, 21. And I kept going, 7, 11, 21, 7, 11, 21. That passed. What is this 7, 11, 21? And then I remembered. I recently watched a monograph video, and he was talking about how they altered the dates, and that September in Latin means 7. So 7, 11, 21 actually means September 11, 2021. Boom, there you have it.
So this date is 9/11/21.
That is the title of the video where they're telling us runaway sector New York water. Boom, there it is.
Wow.
It took, I can't tell you how hard it was for me to decode that. I just sat on that. I prayed about it and nothing came. And then all of a sudden it just hit me. It was like, it's a date.
So to go through that again, we're going to go opposite because they do things in reverse. So 21 is the year.
Yep.
4 plus 4 plus 3 is 11. 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 is 7. So 7, 11, 21, but 7 actually means September. So September 11th, 2021, they are telling us sector New York water, run away.
Now, and like I said on the last show that didn't work out, I don't like to give dates because then you have egg on your face, right? If they don't happen. But if I didn't say anything, if we didn't come forward with this information, think about how many hundreds of thousands of people could die if they didn't know. Yeah. And a lot of times, if you tell their secret, they'll stop it because they got caught, with their hand in the cookie jar. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Maybe it won't happen because of the show. I don't know. Right. But there is other evidence out there that, we're going to go through. So we're not done.
We're not done. Absolutely. Okay. So where do you want to
go? Well, we could say that Enter the Stars years ago did a decode, and he actually has screen captures of New York City in that. It's an iPad Goat. I'm sorry, an iPad Goat where the town, or was it? It might be this video actually, where he caught glimpses of it being flooded.
Okay.
New York City being flooded. And then there's the Jonathan Cluck decode. There you go. Do you want to talk about that one?
A number of years ago, Jonathan Cluck. Now, I don't follow him. I used to until he said that he was one of the fallen angels. And then I was like, nope, I don't follow him anymore. But as with all people, you take the meat and you take the meat, you throw out the bones. So a number of years ago, Jonathan Cluck did a decode on the U.S. currency, on the $50 bill, the $20 bill, the $10 bill, and I think the $1 bill. And those were 9/11 was on one of them. The Hoover Dam was on one of them. And then we have this image on the $10 bill.
That's the $100
bill.
$100.
On the $100 bill. And this, we believe, coincides with, there was a scene in The Day After Tomorrow from a movie in 2004 that actually shows the same scene of them looking up Manhattan. I believe it's up looking up Broadway in Manhattan, and you can see the water coming from the end of the street and coming forward, and that's the same as you can see on the $100 bill. So, and there's a number of movies out there. Before we went on, I tried to find this actual one, and I was running out of time. I couldn't find it, but you guys can go look for it. Look at it yourself. There's a number of movies that depict this, and not only movies, but we have, what's this?
Okay, so that is a church in Manhattan. It's a Catholic church called the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. It's in Manhattan, and they have several pillars with these
pretty disgusting figures,
yeah,
isn't it?
with these sculptures. And it's in, I think it's called the Portal of Paradise. It's on the western facade of their cathedral. And to me, that's not paradise. I'm sorry, killing people. But look at it. It's showing you what they have planned. And this is at a church, you guys. And it's in stone in Manhattan. That
doesn't it?
Yeah, that is, I think, maybe a picture from The Day After Tomorrow. But it also coincides with an article from the Business Insider called "A New Russian Video May Show Doomsday Machine Able to Trigger a 300-Foot Tsunami." But nuclear weapons expert question why you'd ever build one. So that article talks about that. So there's a lot of foreshadowing that they do. That's part of what the occult does. They put the stuff in videos and...
Absolutely. It's called telegraphing. And it's according to Kabbalistic law of karma. It says that you have to, by their laws, tell the people, or tell the doomed person in advance of their demise. And then they protrude this stress and these emotions because they know that they can't stop it, and that's what these people feed off. That's what these entities feed off of, is that increased stress and emotion.
Yeah, I think the New Age call that loosh or something.
Like
it's the anxiety and the fear, and I think they must be getting fed. They're all fat now because. That's the way the world is right now. We're all like,
Right. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So well, I'm going to let you continue.
Okay. Well, there's, we can go into either iPetGoat or the Obama, the beam.
Let's start with iPetGoat.
Okay.
And here's the deal with iPetGoat. It seems that everybody else on YouTube is allowed to share iPetGoat, except for me. Last time I shared iPetGoat, I got my channel nuked for 90 days, and I wasn't allowed to share anything. So Give me a second. I got to make sure that I got my share video. I am only going to show you a brief moment of this video, and you guys need to pay attention to it. And I will back it up, and I will play it twice for us.
What we want. Shame on. Shame on you.
Did you guys catch that? I think that's pretty telling. And after that, he says something else. I don't.
What we want. Shame on you. For me, take it for again.
Do you hear that?
Shame me once, shame on me, won't be fooled again. Was that what it said?
I think he's saying, we're going to fool you again. We're going to fool you again. We're going to fool you again.
Right.
I swear, you know how many times I've watched that video and I just skipped over that part. I never really, and then it hit me. They're going to hit it again. It's going to happen again. But this time.
Well, that goes on in this video. He changes from George Bush to Obama.
He shapeshifts.
He shapeshifts to Obama.
And did you see the calendar behind him?
No, I didn't.
I mean, not the calendar, the map.
No.
Look at the map and look at all the little pinpoints.
Oh, you know, I have seen that before. Let me just rewind it again. Okay, what's interesting about that pinpoint, that map,
coincides with that other video, doesn't it? Those dates, those places.
Yes, and if you go, Solani, hold on a second. Okay, there's it's called the Pentagram of, oh, why am I going to remember it now? Pentagram, Solog, here we go. The Pentagram of Blood by Solog, Sollog. And I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Those pinpoints, and this is again, back in 2014, a bunch of us decoded that part. You have this is called the Pentagram of Blood. And each one of those, and there's a lot more of them now, but each one of those pin dots on the map coincided with a ritualistic killing, the Louisiana flooding, the Hoboken train crash, the Oklahoma City bombing, the Alpine school shooting, Baton Rouge, Haiti hurricane, all of those, but they coincided with the map that was behind him. So.
And somebody in chat was asking about the one in the Gulf. That would be the Gulf spill.
Right.
The one in the water. But those were all like major events that they fooled us. That's what he's saying. We fooled you. We fooled you once. Shame on you. We're fooling you again.
We're fooling you again. That's right. And you know what? Here's the thing about that, Trish. Is I think that 9/11 for all of us was a very traumatic experience. 9/11 took our innocence as a nation. We'll always remember where we were at that moment. We always will carry with us that the emotion of that day. And when they came for the Patriot Act, we would have given Bush anything he needed to take us back to how protected we were in our little bubble on September 10th. So I don't think people would realize or even expect another horrific event to happen on that same day.
No, I mean, that's the last thing it would be like lightning hitting the same spot twice. You wouldn't think it was even possible. I mean, hopefully nothing will happen.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that's kind of pointing to something like
there's a lot of things taking place right now in the world that are setting us up. And this is not the first time I've told you guys the feelings that I've had about a coming event. It is coming, and looking at the headlines over the past couple of weeks having to do with Afghanistan, I do believe they're setting us up for something.
Yeah, and they might be the scapegoat for this something, but you know.
And we found out today that not only did the United States military leave behind weapons and equipment, they also left behind the machine and the software to make military ID. What does that do for national security here?
Goes out the window.
Basically. We got a storm. This lightning, sorry. Okay, so you found that not only does this number add up to 9/11/21, but you found this number someplace else, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was the Monarch in Fritz Springmeier's book I mentioned earlier. It's the pool of death. It's a Monarch trigger code, supposedly. I don't know how that works. I don't understand how it works. Like if they just say this trigger code on the phone and then you're in a trance. I don't know. But the idea that it says pool of death, what does that tell you right there?
Exactly.
Well, the pool of death on that date, September 11th, 2021.
Right. And that's the date right there.
Yep.
And we are going to reach out to Fritz Springmeier. I've interviewed him a number of times, and I know that he'll come and talk with us, and I think this is a question that we need to ask him. What is this?
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously it's dates. There's a lot of 21s on there, which is concerning.
Right. Yeah, there is. The double helix is one.
Yeah.
Mensa system. Spider web.
And see, in hindsight, they might make sense. Right now, it's kind of like we're scratching our head going, huh?
Right. And that's kind of what happens with telegraphing is you don't really understand or you don't really know until it's in hindsight. And then you're like, oh, it's kind of like the Nostradamus, his quatrains. You don't really understand it. You don't really, understand what you're reading until an event happens. And you're like, oh, that's what he meant.
Yeah. So on also on iPet Goat, I know it's probably not queued up to that, but there's a scene where it looks like Alice. It looks like Alice in Wonderland. She drops an apple, and it rolls to the foot of, I think it's Obama because he's wearing those boots the Obama guy was wearing, and the apple splits in half, like it's broken. Oh, there you go. And then it rolls over C7. And I'll talk about that in a second, but see how it splits open? Is that saying New York, the Big Apple, is broken? I don't know.
Interesting. So it's a C7. What does that mean?
Okay, so Linda in our research group did some research. I sent you a photo on that.
Which one? This one here?
C7. No, it's C7. Yeah, so I think that's about container ships. So part of the research with, I don't know if it's McAfee or Q, I don't know, it's from our research group. I remember them talking about these containers called Club K. Do you have a photo for that?
I can grab it.
There are photos, or there's these shipping containers in the ocean called Club K, and they actually have missiles on them.
I
So-
have pulled up. Give me just a minute here. Let me pull that up.
I think that C7 relates to these Club K missiles. There you go.
And we've
So-
been hearing a lot about these container ships that are stuck in our ports, and they're just sitting there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk too on the I don't know if it's Q or McAfee. I'm getting them all mixed up about these containers that are in over here and over there, and watch the water and so they're really big into this. And I think I wouldn't be surprised that there's some human trafficking going on in these containers, but some of these containers are actually weapons. And the pastor that did the decode on, he thinks it's going to be a nuke that hits New York City. And I think it's a nuke that hits the water of New York City that causes a tsunami. That's my theory.
Wow. Either way, not good.
No, not good at all. And back to iPet Goat, there are scenes. I mean, there's a lot to the iPet Goat. And we're not.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with iPet Go, I mean, not to
but
be.
there's a lot packed in there.
Yeah.
A lot. But it's nuclear winter, Statue of Liberty, the flag breaking in half, war, the Moonchild, the Antichrist. It's all there.
It's all there in iPet Go. Absolutely, it is. I really wish I could play it for you guys. Like I said, the last time we did it, we got our channel nuked for 90 days.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that. What did you call it?
I'll put the link. Everything we going over, guys, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go and watch it.
Yeah. Oh, and so gematria is another thing they like to use. And you had that up a minute ago on the screen. Yeah, so when you type in September 11th, 2021, nuke comes up.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's that thing that Obama wrote on the beam. Okay, so remember we talked about how they do double talk? So they'll say it. So to the general public, it looks innocent, like with the hand sign or whatever. But look at this. We remember, we rebuild, we come back stronger. So look at that. We come back stronger could mean we're going to hit you stronger.
Okay, let me give a little bit of background information on this. So Obama, after 9/11, I'm not sure what year it was. It might have been the 10-year anniversary or 5-year. I don't remember. But anyways, he went to Ground Zero, and this was before the new building was built. And he actually, this is what he wrote and signed on one of the beams. Now, I'm not sure if it was one of the beams of the old buildings that collapsed or it was one of the beams that went into the new building. But I want to say it's one of the beams that went into the new building. Also looking at this, we've got the WWW.
Ooh, you're right.
Okay. And the 3. So the WWW or the 666, we also have that in this.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. And that
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that was, like I said, I don't know the date. I could pull it up real quick, I think. Obama. I can get you the date. Oh. He signed that, what is it called? The beam.
Yeah.
The 11 beam. He signed it August. He signed, okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me pull this down. Oops, wrong one. Stop, Laurie. Just don't. Here we go. Beam signed by President Obama installed at World Trade Center. The beam signed by President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama during their visit to the World Trade Center site on June 14th is among the final beams added to the 104-story building. So this was in 2012, June 14th of 2012, they went there and signed that beam, which is now part of the new building. Yeah. Again, I'll put all these links in the description for you guys. And we have, just a minute, and I'll go back to it, where Obama, or where, let's do it right here. And I'm not going to play the audio of it. I'm just going to play the video where Bush, who was president during 9/11, shapeshifts into Obama. There he is.
And he's got that half moon or that moon thing on his face. And when he had his birthday party, he had a necklace with that moon. So I think there's something there with that moon. I think it somehow ties in with the Taliban and all that with their little swords. I don't know.
Look
But,
down by his arm. And try to get it. F, false flag.
You're right. False flag, that's right. And then the mind being traumatized, being split in half, and all the fires in the background that are currently happening. And then they're laughing at us, they're mocking us.
Yeah.
And you notice, since he's shapeshift, you can't help but wonder if these are like empty vessels and the I don't know if it's the Antichrist spirit or a demon is possessing the same demon possessing each president. Like it just goes from one to the other. Is that what they're showing us? I mean, I'm getting too deep.
I'm not, and for the record, I'm not watching chat. I'm not paying attention at all in chat, and my phone just died. So I don't know how you're going to get a hold of me if there's something in there that I need to know, Linda. I'm sorry. So, what's this one? That one's the
C7. You mentioned about who leaving New York City the other day.
Yeah, you guys had mentioned in the chat that it was very kind of odd. Not the timing is kind of odd about Cuomo resigning. It's almost like he get the hell out of Dodge before anything happens.
Yeah, that dude looks like Sean Anna. Bowser.
Oh God.
Sorry. Anyways, regarding September 11th, Linda in our group, in our research group, looked, and she said she thinks Biden is scheduled to be an event there for New York City. So if something happens and Biden's there, bye bye Biden.
That is interesting.
And there is warnings, or we've been told by the Taliban we have until September 11th to get out.
Yeah, why would you pull that date? I mean, come on, date of all dates,
Yeah.
11.
And then she also found out, Linda in our group also said that she was watching a Ray Potter video. I think it was Roy Potter.
Roy Potter.
That he had inside information that the military higher-ups was told to prepare with food and water by September 11th, before September 11th. So that's pretty much all I have. It just looks like something's going to happen.
Very interesting. I still can't get over how this coincides to the date. Like I said, this video was all the rave in the, and I hate to be calling the truther community because it's been so infiltrated over the years, but it was a group of us. I mean, all of us large page owners, and at the time, Exposing Satanic World Government was over 120, 130,000 people strong. And there was other page owners, I can't even think of people. There was Michael Myers, no relation to the Michael Myers. There was Michael Myers. There was JB, Patrick. I mean, there was a bunch of us that we were all friends, and we shared each other's, pages. We shared each other's information, and we were all in a group chat. And when this came out, we were like, flies. We're like, oh my gosh, we got to figure out what this is. We know it means something. But we can never come up with, this date. And as you guys can see on the video that I showed you, that is the name of the video right here. Be ready. So
Be ready.
Exactly.
In chat, there's a Jeff who says there's a decode that shows Biden being off.
Yeah. I've seen that as well. And they're setting up. You guys know that I showed you guys the new thing that says that which you can see on my icon here, where I said I'm a verified harmful extremist. That people like us, Biden or Trump supporters, conservative Christians, conservative Trump supporters. I'm not a Trump supporter, by the way. I don't go with the left or right paradigm, but I am a Christian conservative. And I do consider myself a patriot, in as the Bible says that, there's no other love for your brother than to lay down your life. And to me, that's patriotism. It has nothing to do with my country. I love my country. I don't love my government. So it's people like us that are being set up, I believe, should anything happen to Joe Biden, that we would be blamed for it. So.
That scares me, because we're not harmful people.
Absolutely.
And that's what they do. They've always done. They've always scapegoated somebody. They've always painted somebody out. They usually
the thing of it is there's extremists no matter what you're talking about. I mean, there's extremists on the left, there's extremists on the right. There's extremists in the Christians, there's extremists in the Satanic. There's extremists in the the Christian, there's extremists in the Muslim. There's wherever there's docile and peaceful people, you have that opposite interaction, that extremist. And the problem with it is now that they're setting us up,
Oh yeah, like if you don't go with the program, if you don't get, the certain thing in your, arm,
right,
you're an extremist. Or if you, go to church on Sunday, or you believe in God, then you're an extremist. Or you're on the right, you're an extremist. It's like, come on.
Yeah. No,
and I'm not right or left. I'm like you. I lean more right because I have conservative values, but I don't
endorse one.
No, because I think it's the left wing, right wing, same bird, whatever.
Exactly.
Same fallen angel.
Right. Exactly. But I do believe that they are setting us up for something. Now, like I said, looking at the headlines, we've been watching it very closely with things that are happening. They're bringing over people. I understand they're bringing over. Listen, I get that they're bringing over people that helped us. And I believe that they're bringing them over there because their lives are in danger. But I've seen the pictures of the airplanes, guys. I don't believe that each and every one of those people are a good guy. Okay? I don't. We've known for a number of years, we've got Muslim extremist camps here in the United States where they're training. I don't think they're training their people to go out and sell Girl Scout cookies. I don't.
True. No.
But and when you look at the Quran and you understand and you read it and you know what their definition of a
infidel
is. I mean, it's very, very clear in their Quran. It says that if an infidel refuses to conform or refuses to go by the ways of Allah, that they'll be killed. And all of that stuff.
And didn't you come up with 75,000 or something?
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's quite a few. And even if only 10% of those are extremists, that's still a large number. We've got terrorist organizations that have been caught at our southern border coming through, not just recently, but over the past number of years. They come over here. And
if they team up with BLM, they caught us off guard.
Exactly. They've sure caught us off guard. So, I mean, you think about it, we're coming up.
There's so much hate and anger.
There is. And, like you said, I mean, I don't like to date set. Date setting just sets you up for being mocked and being ridiculed if it doesn't happen. But in the same sense, when you're a watchman, the Bible tells us that, if you do not blow the trumpet and you do not warn the people that if one should die, their blood is on your hands. And that is the exact reason why we came on today with this decode, to hopefully, shed a little light and prepare. Guys, my husband called me this morning. He is not one to be proactive in things. And he called me this morning completely out of left field and said, I need you, when you get up, I need for you to get on the computer and I need for you to find survival food. And I said, okay. He goes, I know we have some. He goes, but we need to get more. Out of the blue, my husband said this. I never thought I would hear my husband say this. He thinks I'm crazy when I'm like making water and doing everything because, I've had Bella on with me a number of times talking about it, about prepping and stuff. And he just kind of like, whatever. So for him to say that, I kind of, it perked my ear up and I was like, okay, well, I think it's time to get serious. I don't know what happened. He's not home for us to sit down. We like to talk face to face. Talking over the phone is just so impersonal. But I'm sure this weekend when he gets home, we sit down to dinner on Friday night. I'll ask him, so what prompted this?
Yeah, I'd be interested to know too.
Yeah. Because he's not one of those people that, he's just not.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this show will circumvent anything happening. But if you're in the area or you know people in the area, it's probably a good week to go on vacation.
Well, I will be on vacation that week, by the way, and I will be in Atlantic City. So I won't be in New York City, but I will be in that area. So let's hope that, and I'll be right on the beach. We've got a hotel right on the beach.
Well, I'll definitely be praying for you, Laurie, you and Dave.
So looking forward to my vacation. Well, actually I was until I realized where would be on the 11th.
But you'll have good footage.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hope we're up in one of the big towers. I'm not sure. I think we're staying at Caesar's Palace.
How far away is that from New York City?
Good question. Let me just see. Pull up my map. So from Atlantic City, directions to Manhattan. Uh, 131 miles.
Okay. I don't know what the range of a nuke blast would be. I think you'd be okay out of the tsunami zone. So I would think it would only be like the island.
Yeah, I don't know. But, well, hey, I'm all good. I have hope beyond the grave. So I'm good with God. That's all I need to,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hope Robbie's done taking his vacation because he'll need to come back.
He'll need to come back. Come back, Robbie.
Come back, Robbie. We need you. So, anything else for us tonight?
No, that's all I had.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm going to go over to the chat room. I'm sorry I have paid no attention to you guys. I want to thank everybody in YouTube and also over on Twitch. I see a lot of new people. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. Now, tomorrow night, same time, 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, I am going to be, I'm just trying to think how I can do it. Trish, does the pastor talk about anything of the topics that we're not supposed to be talking about on YouTube?
I didn't see anything. I've only watched like 2 of his shows, and he goes into the Antichrist. Okay. I don't know if that's off topic, and then of course the event on 9/11.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message to David Zublick right now, get his permission to replay that broadcast over here tomorrow night. What I'll do is I will make a link again, and you guys will have your notice. Hit that bell so you get the notice when we go live. If not, you don't get a notice. Make sure that you come over here at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central for that broadcast. It is a 3. You know what? It's a 3-hour broadcast. I might want to start it early. Let's start it at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And that way, because it's 3 hours long. I know you guys, have to get up for work in the morning. So let's do it that way. That way it will. So we'll start it a couple hours sooner. So, thank you so much, Trish.
You're welcome.
Again, you guys have done an outstanding job again, as always. Thank you to the research team. Thank you to Trish. Thank you to the Heavenly Father for showing you these things. And yeah.
Yeah, we got a great group. I love our research team.
We do have a great research team. Absolutely. And I did invite you guys on tonight. I did. Remember that. I said, we wanted to.
She opened it up.
I did. I opened it
Chickens.
up. That's right. That's right. Well, Derek was going to, but he's doing family things tonight. So
okay, we'll give him a pass.
We're going to give him a pass. Everybody else, chicken.
Chickens.
All right, everybody. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you to everybody who joined us in the live chat. Thank you to our moderators, as always, and to the research team. And until next time, tomorrow night, guys, remember, eyes open, no fear.